likes fancy. They pretend, don't they, right, to like fancy food. Like caviar grown inside a sturgeon. I would rather have the fish. Truffles sniffed from the ground by an old sow. I would rather have the pig. Oysters collected off the ocean bed by a half-naked Filipino boy. That's it, there's no more of them now. That's it, that's it. So, no, I prefer a takeaway. Takeaways are great, aren't they? I love Subway. I love that new campaign Subway's got, don't you? We make the sandwich the way you want it. I thought that's very generous of you. I'm glad I didn't come when it was the old system. Can I have a cheese sandwich, please, with tomato and mayonnaise? No. Why not? Because that's not the way Keith likes it. Who's Keith? Bloke down the road. Well, how does he like his cheese sandwich? With tomato and mayonnaise? But no cheese. That's not true, is it? No. You don't know anyone called Keith, do you? No. What's going on? We've run out of cheese. Hello, madam in the front row there, holding on to your bottle. Madam, how are you? Good. And you just did that great thing that women do in the front row, which I always like, which is I talk to them, and then they look at me, and they just slightly glance down and back up again, thinking, he'll be gone when I look back. Oh, God, he's still fucking there. You're not blind, are you? That would be very awkward.
Have you got a kind face?
Is this your other half? Yeah? You sure you're not blind? I'm joking, mate. You look great. Yeah? I'm looking at what you're wearing there, madam. I'm looking at what you've gone for a massive white belt, haven't you? And you've gone for this sort of long hair with a sort of diagonal fringe. Then you've gone for that sort of grey thing over the top where you wear the sort of dress over the top thing. It gets me very confused. And I'm looking at you, I can be completely honest with you. I'm thinking, what are you thinking about? As I look at you and I think, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? Right? Don't like it. So, good evening. Welcome to the show. I'd rather be honest. So, I'm joking. She looks great. That was my experiment. That was my little experiment for the night, right? She looks great, right? But did you feel the tension in the room then, right? I called Dan a paedophile. I said, I once blacked up, nothing. I say I don't like what she's wearing. He's a fucking monster! He said, what would it matter if I did? I do like what she's wearing, but what if I didn't, right? It'd be my taste against her taste. What would it matter? If I said, what do you like to eat? And she said, rhubarb. And I said, oh, I don't really like rhubarb. You wouldn't all go, oh, fuck me, it's kicking off. What's going to happen? What does it matter? If you think about it, that's more important, because we're talking about food, stuff you put inside your body. Which brings me on to my main point. Him. What are you thinking about? Look at him. His hair's different colours. Are you a local lady, madam? Where are you from? Mordor, sorry. Where are you from? No, where are you from? Milton Keynes. I was right first time. And Milton Keynes, very nice. That's the important thing, right? You've got to live in a nice area. It doesn't matter about your house or your flat, right? It's the area you live in, right? It's like Kirsty Allsopp always says on Channel 4. She's always saying, location, location, location. But we all know what she's actually thinking is biscuits, biscuits, biscuits. Right?
Oh, Phil, I don't like these bevel floorboards.
Well, they were fucking all right before you came in, princess. Weren't they? Come on, Kirsty, head out to the fridge. Let's have a look upstairs. Biscuits! Did you read about that? Biscuits are the most dangerous product in the house. They cause more admissions to accident and emergency than any other product in the world. True story, that. It's true. People give a biscuit to the dog, they get bitten. They dip the biscuit in the tea, they get burnt. Right? It's not a laughing matter. My mum was seriously injured because of a packet of Rich Tea biscuits. She was supposed to get me jammy Dodgers, so I punched her in the face. But I live in a nice area now. I moved to the west of London, and it's quite nice. But like anywhere in London, you know, you're only ever sort of like 5 minutes away from a red light area or something. And not that I've got a problem. I mean, I don't know what your opinion on the subject is. Personally, I've always thought that, you know, prostitution should be cheaper. Legalised! I said legalised, by the way, not eagle eyes. I don't think prostitutes should have eagle eyes. Gripping hands. But, actually, maybe they should have eagle eyes, and then when they go down on you, you can do that, and they can keep a lookout for the police. No, I had to move out the East End, though, when I used to live there, because it's the Cockneys, you see. I get confused with Cockneys. Cockney rhyming slang, to me, right, it's very confusing, and I think it's particularly confusing if you're the person that the Cockney rhyming slang is named after. I mean, Hank Marvin, he must spend his life introducing himself to people. And people going, I can get you a cheese sandwich or something. Not everyone's from London tonight, are they? I can tell. Half of you knew then that Hank Marvin means starving. And about half of you then got confused then. I think because half of you think that Hank has got something to do with wank. Is that the problem with that joke? I can almost hear the conversations. I don't get that one, Trevor, do you? No, I don't, my darling. Why would somebody give Hank Marvin a cheese sandwich if he's just said, I want to masturbate? I was wondering the same thing, my dear. Maybe the cheese sandwich is for Cliff Richard. He was in the shadows. Yes. He's all right, this fella, but he's no Jethro, is he? No, he's not. He's trying hard, I think. He is trying hard. There's lots of famous people at Cockney rhyming slang now. Samantha Janus. She's Cockney rhyming slang, right? She is, officially now. Right? Oh, good, you got that one. Although she's changed it now. She sometimes says Samantha Janus. You can't change your surname just because it sounds like something rude, can you? Ask my mate, Billy hooked her up the arsehole. He's not been able to change his name, has he? Just because Billy rhymes with Willie? What are the rules? It's a rip-off living in London. Car insurance. How much of a rip-off is this? I rung up for some car insurance the other day. I said, how much would it be to insure my car? This bloke said, do you park it in the street? I said, yeah, I'm having problems squeezing it into the spare room. He said, as opposed to a garage. I said, yes, I park it in the street. He said, is it a well-lit street? I said, no, it's a dark street. He said, oh dear. Have you got any security, any car alarms? I said, no, nothing. He said, what area in London do you live in? So I told him my address, and he came round and nicked it. Go to the mechanics, do this one. I love this, right? Go to your mechanics. It's my favourite practical joke, right? And I did this last week. I said, there's something wrong with my car. It keeps going, woo, woo, woo. He said, yeah, that's your clutch. I said, no, it's not the clutch. It keeps going, woo, woo, woo. He said, yeah, that's your clutch. I said, no, it's not the clutch. It keeps going, woo, woo, woo. He said, it's your clutch. I said, will you stop interrupting me? I've got a stutter. It keeps going really slowly up hills. He said, yeah, that's your clutch. I hate the rip-off you get in London, the hard sell. You know, the telephone. You get it all over Britain now, the hard sell on the phone. You know, do you want to switch your gas to the electric? Do you want to switch your electric to the gas? I'm taking this off. Can't sustain this for an hour. Don't fucking patronise me. I know it hasn't worked out. I honestly bought this suit. I thought, I'm making a DVD. I'll get a new suit. I bought the suit. I looked at myself in the shop and I thought, hello, I've got a bit of the Al Pacino's going on here. I just looked at myself backstage and I realised I've ended up looking like a very unsuccessful regional snooker player. Oh, no. This is true, right? The telephone hard sell is the worst in the world. This is a true story. I was lying in bed the other day with a hangover. Yeah, it's awful, isn't it, when your cock's so big it won't stay in the bed. I'm glad I didn't say a stinking hangover. And this bloke rings me. And I knew straight away this bloke was trying to sell me something with his opening line. Because he said, hello, sir. How are you today? I said, no, thank you. And he genuinely got the hump and said, no, thank you, what? I said, sorry. No, thank you, please. He said, I'm phoning from EDF. I said, I'm not interested. He said, I haven't told you what it is yet. I said, I know exactly why you're ringing. You're ringing to offer me a free season ticket to Wembley plus unlimited access to Dirty Brenda's all-night knocking shop with as many chocolate hobnobs as I can eat. He said, no, I'm not. I'm ringing to talk about your domestic fuel bills. I said, well, why didn't you say that in the first place? Keep talking, son. He said, well, sir, because you didn't get the sarcasm. He said, how would you feel about paying less for your gas? I said, honestly? He said, yes. I said, I reckoned I'd feel exactly the same, but I'd be paying less for me gas. He said, can I ask, who's your current supplier? I said, oh, it's Gypsy Dave. He comes round on a moped every Thursday. I said, oh, sorry, gas. I thought you meant electricity. I said, it's British Gas. He said, can I ask why you chose them, sir? I said, well, it's a funny story. I said, I needed some gas, and I live in Britain, and I don't know what it was, but they seem to be ticking all the right boxes. And at this point, he genuinely got the hump, right? And he said, you know what, I think I'll phone someone else who'll answer my questions less sarcastically. I said, yeah, you can phone someone else, they'll be less sarcastic, they'll probably stay on the phone longer, but they'll still end up saying no to you anyway. I said, now, I don't know who's providing your current rejection, but if you were to switch to me, I would combine the sarcasm with the rejection and save you up to 15% a year on your cold calling time. And do you know what he did then? He tried to offer me nectar points. Let me tell you something about nectar points, ladies and gentlemen. I spent the last 2 years collecting nectar points. Do you know how many I've got? Enough for a tiny little jar of honey. I'd be better off collecting fucking nectar. And I'm glad you laughed at that joke, because I did it in Ireland a month ago and it got fuck all. Honestly, we did Dublin for 2 nights, right? And on the first night, I did the same joke. Get off stage, bloke this with me went, you know that joke about the nectar and the nectar points and the honey? I know why I didn't get a laugh. I went, why? He went, they don't have nectar points in Ireland. What the fuck are you telling me now for after the gig? Wipe that fucking smirk off your face. He said, don't worry, tomorrow night, say Tesco's points. I don't know what's worse, right? The fact that he suggested that, or the fact that half of you are now staring at me going, well, what happened? Did it work? How'd you get on? Did it work the next night? What about Astor points? They've all got a fucking Astor lead. Come on, mate, stay with it. Come on, what else? Don't leave us hanging. Because that's how they speak in London. Sorry for locking you in the box, by the way, lads. Sorry about that. What's your name, mate? I locked you in the box. I'm sorry, what's your name? Nathan. Yeah? N-A-F-A-N, yeah? And, yeah. How old are you, Nathan? 12. Wow. Do you have a nice Easter? Hey! Was it under the plant pot? It's always under the plant pot, isn't it? And, do you like music? Yeah, what kind of music into? Rock. I like rock. I like U2, they're my favourite rock band. There was a documentary the other day about U2, right? Does anybody know the real name of Bono, the lead singer? Because it's not his real name, obviously. Does anyone know what Bono's real name is? Paul what? Shh, calm it down, Tourette's, man. I'll be with you in a minute. Did you see that documentary about Tourette's? It was the funniest thing I have ever fucking seen on television. How funny was that? I saw a dog. They've given him a dog now. They've given him. How's that possibly going to help? Giving him a dog? Did he blame the dog? Fuck off! Not me! Charlie! Cheeky Charlie! Talking to the nice lady like that. Shit flaps! No, oh wait, come on, sit down. There's no sausages. They put him next to the busiest dual carriageway. Did you see this? With a dog. And he's got Tourette's. It was awful. He just stood there the whole time going, go on! Wait! Go on! Wait! Go on! Wait! Dog's going, fucking I hate me and your dog! Give me big fucking Tourette's! God. Oh, God. So, yes, the real name of the lead singer was Paul what? Paul Hewson, right. It's not a joke. I just want to make sure that turd in the box goes to the right address. Because I'm not a fan. I like the Edge, or as he's known in France, Ledge. He's all right, isn't he? But at least they've learned the number one lesson, never sing in your own accent. Because that would just sound awful, wouldn't it? You should never sing in your own accent. The only part of the world that hasn't learned this is Manchester. They insist on northernering it up, don't they, every time? That elbow, you know, blinking in the morning sun. Look at me, I'm a fucking northerner. I'm blinking in the morning sun.